Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Bachelorette Recap, a guy's review. As always, it's your boy Dave Neal. Week 4 or 44 or something, I'm not sure. It feels like it's been like 7 years since the show started. Claire found love. Here we are. I like to watch the show. I take notes on my laptop. I read them back to you guys. No edits. We get right into it. You all ready to go? You guys ready to have fun? I got my Diet Coke over here, my Diet Dr. Pepper, because we're partying on a Thursday night. It's a Thursday night here. Elections are happening. For all my international people that watch, I know we've got audience in South Africa and Norway and our Canadian friends of the North. Hello, how are you? We're surviving. We're counting the votes one at a time. We like to fax them in one vote at a time. So let's start it off. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the fantasy suite, Neal Lane, Claire's week 4 exit, and then at the end, I'm going to deliver a revenue report. And let me tell you guys something. If you're new, every week I tell you what the previous episode made in ad revenue, donations, things like that. Y'all blew it away. Week 3 was nuts. Papa's going to get a new denim shirt by the end of this, all right? All right, so the episode starts with all the dudes commiserating together. There's no better way to bond than when you get broken up with all your bros. Let me tell you something. No better way to... I wish I had these guys with me when I got dumped in the past, you know? Here I am getting, ghosted in New York City, crying at a panini grill in Central Park. I would have loved to have 22 other dudes just to, hate on the girl with me. Claire takes the meeting with Chris Harrison. That's how it starts off. I feel like it's like when you get a meeting with HR, it's never good. You're like, oh boy, did I do something wrong? She said she was surprised that he's coming. And then Chris said, hey, it's just a private convo. And then she's like, okay. And he's like, all right, bring in the boys. They got a boom guy, 3 cameras, a whole setup. Claire said that during quarantine, she checked out every guy's social media. Well, look, that means Dale wins the social media game. You know what I mean? Dale's got good social media, good Instagram filters, Party City photos. Claire's all about it. She circled the boxes before she took the test, if you know what I mean. I don't even know what that means. But by the way, this is going to get a little loopy. I'm exhausted right now. We're going to have fun. I like doing these recaps late at night because I'm going nuts out here. In the background, I got the TV on. We're seeing, the fate of the free world or whatever they want to call it is in the limbs. The limbs? Speaking of limbs, here's Dale. I love Chris Harrison. I love him. So Chris says, we have never done this before. We need to reinvent the whole thing. Okay, Elon Musk, we've never done this before. The show's about getting people liquored up that have no better place to go, and they stumble on love because they're too old to find it another way. That's what the show's all about. But he's like, we're going to blow it all up. It's going to be brand new. Ooh, you're going to bring in another person so they can get Instagram verified too? This is going to be fun. And by the way, Claire falling for Dale because of his social media, because that's what it was. She found his social media, she liked what she saw, and then she filled in the blanks when she met him. But that's the problem with the world, is that in social media, you get to see what that person wanted you to see. It's just a highlight reel. It's like looking at someone's resume and hiring them right there. It's like, no, we want to see how they do on their bad days. How do they do when their team blows it that week? You know what I mean? Chris tells all the guys no cocktail hour, no rose ceremony, and then he says, Dale, can I see you outside? And everyone goes, ooh. It's like when you tell the class, like, oh, you see me after class. Ooh. Meanwhile, Blake says Blake's trying to justify it all. He's like, it's too early. I know how the game goes. I'm telling you, she hasn't made her mind up yet, you idiots. And I'm like, well, hold my Diet RC Cola. It's about to be over. Call me Fox News in Arizona because I'm calling this race too soon. You know what I mean? I wish Nevada could tally up their votes as fast as Claire can fall in love. She'll be married before Georgia's, done counting. This will be good. Oh boy, I figured it out. Claire is a Karen in training. She's a minor league Karen. She was saying to Chris Harrison, she goes, we're going to do this my way. Okay, Burger Queen. I want it my way. It's like, that's just saying, but you get it how we serve it, right? She said, this is what Claire said. I wrote it down. She said, I come from a space of really knowing what I want. Yeah, that's such a white girl thing to say. I come from a space of really, not like I come from a space of knowing what I really want. Okay, easy does it there. That's exactly what you type moments before you leave a 1-star review, right? I come from a space of really knowing what I want. And I want this ramen bowl to have more beef broth flavor. It lacks the emotional integrity to know what it is. As a 39-year-old, I have the maturity to understand a bland bowl of broth. I'm not accusing you of watering down your bone broth, but it feels, in my truth, that this ramen bowl just doesn't have the wow for a better review. And that's the space where I feel I know what I want. And now I'd like to speak with your manager. And then she gets 50% off. That's how it works. If you didn't know, that's how Karens become Karens. You don't just become a Karen out of nowhere. You got to get scorned along the way. You got to be an old bachelorette. Old bachelorettes become Karens. Moving on. Claire says her parents are James and Lily. Tasha pointed out that was Harry Potter's parents' names. I didn't know that. I'm not as much of an expert as Tasha is on Harry Potter, but I don't know. Is that a good thing? Does it mean Claire's a wizard? She does have that little wizard vein on her forehead. Moving on. Claire tells Dale, "I'm so falling in love with you." Dale returns the gesture. Good. Then Claire said, "What is happening?" And then Dale said, "It is what it is." Then they play tonsil hockey. Don't bust her Juvederm there, Dale. I mean, he's going in real rough. It's like, come on, that costs $1,500. Go easy. By the way, Dale, you don't say "it is what it is" when you're talking about love, when you're getting engaged. It's not "it is what it is." "It is what it is" what you say when you get a flat tire on the way to Vegas because you were texting and then veered off the rumble strip and hit a piece of glass. It is what it is, honey. What are you going to do? Love isn't what it is. Love is love. And because of love, I have a song I wanted to play. They're falling in love. We need to play Canon in D. And that's not a pun for Claire's breast size. That would be Canon in double D. Moving on. It's late, folks. I don't take edits, but I take a stop for this Diet Dr. Pepper. Claire's dress. Claire's dress. Not messing around. She brought out the closer, red sequins. I mean, she was like, game over. You don't follow red sequins like that. That's the dress you bring to seal the deal. That's the contract signing dress. Turkey's cooked, take it out of the oven. That's the dress. Dale's dressed for a funeral procession. Funeral procession? He's dressing for the death of his bachelorhood. R.I.P. Boy, this was, my favorite surprise here was when Chris and Bree started performing. Didn't you guys love that? If you don't know who they are, you missed a great season of Listen to Your Heart. It's the Bachelor version of A Star is Born, really. It's amazing. Shout out to my boy over there, Mr. Neal. I got my cousin from another mother out there, Ryan Neal out there. It was killed it, as a singer-songwriter. But Chris and Bree performed. They met on the show Listen to Your Heart and fell in love. There was a couple. If you haven't, leave a comment below. Let me know. Did you watch Listen to Your Heart? I don't want to say anything more about it or give anything away. It's worth watching. Get your friend's Hulu password and go watch. Anyway, the song isn't even over, and Dale's stroking sequins and Claire's sweet. I mean, they could have waited for the third verse. Instead, they're over there, just bumping friendlies or whatever. Chris Harrison didn't even get a chance to write a fantasy suite card. Claire's 39. She didn't have time to wait for formalities. Chris is over there trying to design a card last minute with calligraphy. She's like, just give me the key. Mama's ready to go. Give me the lube, boy. Boy, they like each other, Dale and Claire, because they're hooking up in the doorway, okay? Let me tell you something. You don't hook up in the doorway with someone you don't like. You just push them out and you watch them leave and you wave and then you go watch SportsCenter. But no, they're making out in the doorway. He's pushing all the right access codes. He's turning on her Ring doorbell. Check your Amazon alerts because the package has been delivered and you need to sign for it with your mouth. All right, folks. Week 4. Did I write that down? Yeah, I did, sadly enough. Sometimes I say, well, I just ad-libbed it. Nope, I wrote that down. I thought about it, I wrote it down, and I still said it. That's where my mind is. Next morning, the bros have a search party for Dale. Turn this stupid music off. They have a search party for... Don't you guys love my Rodecaster Pro? Thanks to your donations, I could invest in this nice audio equipment. It's been 18 hours. No one's seen Dale. They checked the pool house. They checked the tennis courts. He's nowhere in sight. Where is he? Everyone's worried. Claire tells Chris Harrison she told Dale she loved him, and he didn't run away. Well, that's hard to do in a desert when you don't have a cell phone or Ubers. Trying to run away during a quarantine? He's staying put. They got free food. Chris says the next step is proposal. Don't you love how Chris just dictates this like the mob boss that he is? What a man. Chris is like, the next step, we call Neal Lane, we get him down here, and it's a proposal. Poor Dale. Give the guy a minute, right? 1 second he's stroking sequins. The next thing you know, he's going to put a ring on it. Chill out. Chill out. Chris tells Claire the proposal's that night. Got to let Neal Lane thaw out from that cryo chamber that he lives in. You know that he just lives in a cryo. Okay. Claire, Neal Lane, more like Neal commuter lane. Get him over there fast. Claire heads over to the. By the way, does Neal Lane just sleep with that briefcase full of $50,000 engagement rings? Every guy wants to know if she had talked to Dale before the show started. All the guys are asking. She already swore she didn't. Kenny asks Claire to apologize to the group. She's like, all right, I'm sorry. I'm going to go find love now, but you guys have fun. They felt violated. They had their time wasted. That's what happens. Blake says he bought a book on dementia so he could relate to Claire about her mom. The guys are all just like finding reasons to get upset. They're like, come on, I Googled Claire's middle name. I didn't want to know what her dog's name was. Where you build resentment when you feel like you've wasted your time. Rightfully, sure. They went to the desert for her. Chris Harrison FaceTimes Neal Lane for the diamond ring. Becca Cuffrin's got a rock for you. Call Becca up. She'll give it to you. Pass that off like it's a baton in a relay race, right? Spray it with a little Lysol, lick it, stick it on. You're ready to go. Lick it and stick it, right, folks? Boy. By the way, I haven't mentioned this. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. I'm almost at 7,000 subscribers. I think I want to get there by the end of this week. When I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm doing a 10-hour live stream. That's what I'm going to do, whether you like it or not. I'll be doing it. I'll be the only one there at the party, just like when I was turning 7. And here I am. Boy, so I guess week 4 is when we're doing engagements from now on. Hey, the world's not getting any younger, folks. We got to move it. Date an older lady. You don't have to ask her dad for permission. He's dead. Okay, moving it. Okay, someone's not going to like that one. All right, folks. We're all jokes until someone gets offended. Boy, this is really Dale draining the clock on the victory. This is his football moment where he just takes a knee, just goes for it. Claire said, put that ring on my finger. I waited a lot of years for this. Dale's like, all right, ma'am. I feel like this is the type of relationship where Dale calls her ma'am. I don't know. How big is that ring? It's got more carrots than a basket of buffalo wings. I liked it. The boys are all packing up their tank tops. They're all sad and horny and just, clipping things together. There's nothing worse than packing up when you don't have, like, the love. You're just alone trying to find all your shoes. Bennett's over there. He's polishing his shoes before. Where does he put all of his shoes, right, folks? Chris tells the guys that Dale proposed to Claire. They looked like I did when I found out that Santa wasn't real. Spoiler alert. They're just like, oh, like, what? Are you kidding me? Chris gives the guys the option to stay if they want to continue their journey. This is where it gets exciting for these guys, right? They're excited. They have a new lease on life. They all knew they weren't doing well with Claire, right? They had already worn out their first night energy. And then he gives them the option. Bennett starts clapping uncontrollably. He claps like it was the stock market, and 6 months ago before the pandemic wiped it. It's still doing well. Bad indicator of, okay, let's move on. See, I feel like other recappers would edit out some of this stuff, but I feel like you need to see the full set. You need to know where we are. This is the punk rock recap. Mid-30s. There's nothing punk rock about this recap. Boy, like I said, Bennett's clapping uncontrollably. That's what you do when you find out the season isn't over. These boys aren't alone in a desert during quarantine. It's like being on a deserted island and then a plane flies by. You're like, there is hope. There is a God. There's other girls coming. Because we live in such a instant gratification society. You got Postmates if you're hungry. You got Tinder if you're thirsty. You got all these things right after another. Now all of a sudden, this is why we love the show, because we take away your social media, we throw you in a desert, and we give you one option. And you freak out when it's not for you. And then these guys didn't even have a chance to get dramatic and compete for Claire. I mean, the game was over before they showed up. Chris is like, don't worry, we'll still get you all verified on Instagram if you just decide you don't want to stick around. I felt bad for Jason, right? He opened up to someone for the first time on national TV. It's a challenge. We'll never know what it's like. We never know what these guys go through. We make fun of it and all this, but to be honest, we didn't have to go through stuff like that. I never had to go through a breakup on national TV yet. Might be a jumbotron someday. Who knows? But then they Chris gives them he says, oh, you guys can all show up if you want, but if you don't want, no big deal. Kind of gives them that ultimatum. Then they cut to the shot of the dudes like slow-mo walking in their night one outfits. They're ready to impress. They're going to see someone new for the first time. Guys, I love being a guy. I love the idea that first night energy. You got your best jokes. The girls never heard your best story before. I don't have that. We've been dating for 7 years. I don't have any new stories to tell. I don't have a cologne that smells nice to her. There's nothing new about me. I can't surprise her in any positive way, But these guys, like, they got what's that tattoo like? If I get a tattoo, she'll be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Desecrating your body. Anyway, shout out to Jason, URI. I got the hat on. I sent him a message on his birthday. I was like, I'm a big fan. Went to URI. He responded, Rody. That's right. Alumni represent. Pay off my student loans. Anyway, the gamers are there to party. They put their night one outfits back on. Groundhog's Day. Groundhog's Lay. Who knows? Groundhog's going to play. You know what I'm saying? How funny would it be if they had to redo their stupid entrances? Wouldn't that be great? Some guy's like, I can't find the body armor. Where's the chainmail got rusty? Chris, can we get some WD-40? I can't get these shin guards on. The tin shin guards are dented. They wouldn't get rusty in the desert. There's no humidity. Come on, folks. These jokes have to be accurate. Boy, the boys are all back dressed to the nines. The focus is back to love, he says. Jason arrives. My man points. He does the Shooter McGavins. Everyone's pumped. Everyone returned. No one's got anywhere to go. They all returned. Chris admits it. He goes, hey, I admit it. You all got a little cheated. Yeah, everyone got a little cheated. Clara had, Claire had put, placed her foot on the Dale scale before the season even started. Just made that up. Chris said, you guys have a brand new Bachelorette. Then all these dudes are trying to keep their cool. They look like Christmas morning when you can hear a puppy barking in the presents. You're like, oh boy. Well, the guys are groping each other. This is what I love about bros. They're just holding each other. They're just ready to grab something. You know what I mean? We always talk about toxic male, fragility and toxic masculinity. This is the type of guy you love. You love these guys. They're all camaraderie. That's going to be the problem, though, for Tayshia, is that these guys have built such a connection that you thought Claire was upset when they were having fun with that. Or Tayshia seems cool. She'll be cool with it. Tashia's the type of girl, she'll let you bring your guys to the date with you. And she'll like flirt with the guys, but just enough so that they're like, oh, your girl's cool. And the guy's like, I guess I got to catch. That's Tayshia, I think. We'll see. Anyway, these dudes are thirsty. By the way, and then at the end is a to be continued. We hate to be continues. They show Clare and Dale at their like bunker safe house in Malibu working out together. Yuck. Gross. Hey, I get you work out together here and there. You go on a hike together. You share the jumping ropes. Let's move on. That's a flat tire. Revenue report, week 3. You guys ready to hear this? Week 3 revenue report. Biggest week ever at Dave Neal Recap Enterprises. Biggest week ever. Just last week's video alone, not including the live streams, 215 new subscribers, $160 in revenue, and new donations by Angelica, James, Devin, Sarah, and Teresa. You guys made my day. I tell Tasha every time I get a new donation to the Venmo, I'll put a link in the description. The fact that you guys even value what I do and are able to exchange some laundromat money is just amazing. I mean, I've gotten anything, from $5 to $50 donations. It is just mind-blowing because it adds up. It's really, really appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much during these weird and tough times. I appreciate you guys so much. Hey, and shout out to the live stream crew. So this year, I started doing live streams. We've had some hiccups. The technology is a little wonky to me, but I'm doing a pre-recap episode on Mondays, and then on Thursdays, normally, I'm doing the post-episode recap. It's a longer form video. Because of this week, you're watching this Friday morning probably, I'm doing an 11 a.m. live stream. If you didn't catch it, it'll still be on, so check the YouTube for that. It's a longer version show. I take voicemails from you guys. It's loose and long is what I'm calling it, which is also what I call Dale and Claire, loose and long, or the other way. Who knows? It's But it's a ton of fun. I've really enjoyed the growth that the channel has had. I've taken a little bit more time to invest in my online game because my whole world shut down, stand-up shut down, my other job fired me. I got nothing else going on. So it's just this, and I'm really having fun with it. I hope you guys are too. So check out all those other videos. And if you haven't done it yet, something like 80% of the people who watch my content isn't subscribed. Let's get up to 10 grand, 10,000, right? Once you get up to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, you get to use the YouTube Studios, which is like this multi-million dollar facility in Los Angeles, which has all this amazing gear. So when you guys get me up to 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to make some cool content over there. We're going to up the value. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm at the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to get out of here. But I want to thank you guys again so much for being there for me. Congratulations, Clare and Dale. I'm actually happy for you. You guys look happy. Let's move on with our lives. Next week, we start Tayshia Hour. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. Bye, everybody.